What's it feel like? You walk into a room, it's like in the middle of winter. You're the sun.
It's everything. You know what my mother used to call me? Dangerous.
So now you say, I don't want to hear all that art house indie bullshit. Well, what about if we mix it, combine it with a little bit of horror? That's right. Now,
And it's directed by the guy who made.
yeah, you are
Drive.
the guy who made. But
I'm not drunk. I just blanked on the name. I can do that anytime.
just a little tipsy. But people,
Man, you love to do that.
I really do. I do so.
You're like, hey, oh man, yeah, I took a sip of that. Oh yeah, you drunk.
You fucked up right
drunk
now, Mark. You fucked up.
I've seen him make people cry
Yes.
doing that.
Anyway, people, so the movie that we're talking about right here is. Damn, I'm like you, man. I forget.
Exactly.
You made me forget, Martin. Your breath got me intoxicated. No. Neon Demon. People, this is by the guy, what's his name?
Nicholas
Nicholas
Refn?
Wingding Refn.
Yeah.
Nicholas Wingling Refn, the guy that directed Drive. And, you know, he's a guy known for being very masculine, putting stuff out there for the guys. But say, you know, I love the ladies, too. The ladies can be just as crazy as the guys. This centers on a girl, Jessie, played by, wasn't it Elle Fanning?
Yeah.
She comes to L.A., or at least his version of L.A., all, you know, wide-eyed and bushy-tailed and innocent. But she is gorgeous. She is beautiful. And it's not long before people tell her how beautiful she is, and she kind of gets lost up in that, get caught up in that lifestyle. Gets a little bit of attitude, but little does she know how desperate people are and how far they're willing to go to get what she has got. Now, with this film, the first thing I can tell you is that a lot of people are divisive about this director, Nicholas Wingding, whatever, Refn, Dutch director. This thing showed at Cannes Film Festival, and you know how it is at Cannes. Everybody has to be passionate. Either people have to love something,
Right.
they have to hate it.
It's a tour de force. I
Yes.
can't count. I stopped counting the number of movies that I heard. Oh, they praised it at Cannes, only for me to see it and go like, yeah, well that's fine there,
Yeah.
but I hate it.
Yeah, they praise it again. So what? But over there, they fighting over shit, literally fighting each other. And this guy's the main one that gets them going at each other's throats. You know, people just can't be middle ground with this.
Nope.
People
They booed it, I heard.
They booed it. People have to be the passionate film goer, love it or hate it. Me, I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna be fair about this because I recognize exactly what the director's doing. I'm not saying it's good. I'm not saying it's bad, but I recognize exactly what he's doing. A lot of people are angry about it. Oh, y'all getting all crazy about it. You're getting mad because you're thinking, oh, this is so awful. This guy's so terrible. The movie might have some flaws, but the guy knows exactly what he's doing when it comes to the stuff that you see as bad. This movie has a lot of what he considers comedy in there. This is a very exaggerated world. Some of this stuff is meant for you to look at and say, yeah, it's ridiculous because it's meant to be. You know, I mean, I don't know what statement he's trying to make exactly sometimes, but I know that when you look at this, he is doing a parody of something. For example, you got Elle Fanning in the film, and Elle Fanning, when she's walking around, everybody is so they're stricken by her looks. They're like, oh my God, she's beautiful, she's gorgeous. People that have these quiet overreactions to her. Meanwhile, she doesn't stand out from anybody else in the movie. Everybody in this movie looks like fucking starving elves, all the concentration camp victims or something. I mean, they all look weird. And with her, there's a clear statement that's being made here about how almost generic these models are. Like everybody talks about how beautiful they are, but they blend together. And there's one scene in particular in here, if you remember, where she walks into a room to audition for her walk.
Right.
And one dude looks at her and he almost starts jacking off when he sees her.
Where's your card?
I don't have one yet.
Jessie's new in town, but she's just been signed by Roberta Hoffman.
How old are you?
19.
Any runway experience?
Not really.
Okay, let's see the walk, dear.
Look at him. Got his hand on his dick right now. I mean, oh my God. And I was looking at that and I was like, man, okay, that is awful. But he knows that this is a parody of these kind of films where people look at someone with so much beauty that oh my God. I'm at least I want to believe that. Otherwise, yeah, if that's real, that is awful. But the movie is telling you, it's almost setting up for you the oh, thank you, Martin. Thank you. It's almost setting up the acting style in the film for you, because the movie is telling you how everybody is so they have this doe-eyed deer in the headlights look about them.
Sure.
And I think the movie is actually trying to tell you this is what you should expect. Sit down, get comfortable, because it's going to be a long-ass film, because half the time these chicks are going to be getting the lines while just looking into space, just zoning out.
So, yeah, they all look hungry. Like, when she saw that one girl walking, she was like, man, I could eat an apple right now.
Yo, yeah.
That girl looked like she was starving, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's scary thing.
It's like I said, there's a statement that's being made. The most normal person in the movie is Jenna Malone. And that says something.
No, there's another dude who was the most normal.
Yeah, I'm gonna get to that in a minute. But Jenna Malone, for all appearances at first, she's the first girl. She plays Ruby, the first woman to meet Jesse when she gets into town, and she's the one that's setting up not only for Jesse, kind of her guide through this new world of fashion models, but she's also the one that sets up for the audience, saying, okay, this is what this world is going to be like. This is what this film is going to be like.
I'm Ruby, by the way.
She murdered somebody?
It was a set.
Do you have a name, or you want me to guess? Jesse. Jesse. Can you just get to LA, Jesse? How'd you know? You've got that look. Oh, don't worry, honey. That little deer in the headlights thing is exactly what they want.
And so you see this, you see these long pauses in there. Mm-hmm. That is one of the things about the movie. Look, this guy is creating a very exaggerated version of LA. He did that with Drive. Mm-hmm. It's almost a silly version of LA, where it's meant to make you kind of disturbed. It's meant to make you it's meant to make you just sit back and think about things that you see. It's things like really pull you out the film for a little while, because they'll say things like they'll show you a picture, that Elle Fanning has taken. And it's the most gorgeous piece of cinematography, and it's the most gorgeous photo you've ever seen. And she'll take it to somewhere like Christina Hendricks in the movie. She'll take it to her, and Christina Hendricks is like, yeah, these are amateur. And it's like, God damn, wait a minute. So, what is a great picture in this world right here? But the thing that really pulls you out of the film is, like I said, it's supposed to be a horror film. And the casting of some of these women in the movie, Abby Lee is one of the models. She's an actress. She has one of the weirdest fucking faces I've seen. She's beautiful, but like a weird, disturbing, like she got a E.T. thing going on right there, because her eyes are
Really
so wide
big
apart.
eyes,
Yeah.
Sexy Gollum.
Yeah, sexy Gollum.
Sexy Gollum.
Yeah. When E.T. was dying, it was all ashy and shit. She kind of got some shit like that going on right
Both
there.
those girls had that abnormally large eyes and sunken in faces.
Yeah, and they just do really weird things that kind of disturb you, almost frighten you throughout the film, because they're very unpredictable in how they behave.
I'm a ghost.
Oh, I thought you
What's it
paused
feel?
it. I was sitting there, I was like, so we getting into this?
Korey, you gonna press the button?
What's it feel like?
What do you mean?
To walk into a room and it's like in the middle of winter, you're the sun.
It's everything.
Bitch, give me your shit. Yeah, it caught your ass off guard, didn't it? The rings, I need it. The precious. The precious. Yeah, because I was watching the movie, I was like getting bored. She jumped like, oh shit. Man, but you see that long pause that she took right there? Mm-hmm. Like exactly what you said is how you feel, because the movie could be, see, I'm playing that right now. The movie could be 30 minutes shorter if they took these long ass pauses out the film. Those goddamn sloths from Zootopia, they talk faster than this chick right here. You're like, you gonna say something, bitch? but man, if they took the acting style and just sped it up a little bit, but they can't do it because this is a movie, for as good as it looks, it's a movie that's got itself up its own ass, man.
I don't know. I'm surprised to hear you say this.
Why?
Because when I watched this movie, what it reminded me of was The Lobster, where I'm like, it'd be easy to say like, yeah, it's style over substance, or it's pretentious, or it's just not my thing. But I think about The Lobster, like how you felt about it. How you go like, yeah, it's got that, but it really does have a way of telling its own story, and it moves at a slower pace, and the dialogue is delivered in a stiff way on purpose. But it's really all about making its statement about this society that's not ours. That's this hyper real society, and just based on that, looking at it through that lens, I was like, you know what? I get it. I see what's going on. Yeah, it might not be what I like traditionally, but let's give it a chance. And it wasn't until about halfway through that I was like, nah, this is some bullshit.
Wow.
I knew that shit. I was like, you better not like this shit.
Hell no, I didn't like this. And the thing is, it's like, even like, I really was trying to give it every chance possible. Because I think this director, even when I was watching Drive, I was like, he has this style that reminded me of what's that director Paul Schrader movies from the 80s. Paul Schrader did like Cat People and Hardcore.
Yeah,
just something about that kind of like slick seediness and make you want to take a bath after you watch the movie, but it's done well. But there's just so much of this where it's like, you know what, this is really fucking unnecessary. And your statement, you made it early on, and you're beating it into the ground. And the movie, it ends at the beginning of the third act, like at the point where you've been there long, and you're like, okay, now let's see what happens. It's like, it's over, and it's almost like, man, I want the rest of this. You know what? I just want to go home.
Yeah.
Never mind. Let's call it even.
That's a disappointment because the way they were marketing this, it looked like it was like, oh, this is Black Swan, but in LA with models. Like, check it out. But
if it had another hour, maybe it would have got to that point.
Oh, wow.
But it drags, and just making, like, I've seen Elle Fanning before. I know she can act, and like it's like making everybody deliver everything dryly. But Keanu Reeves, who at one time was known as the worst actor possible. And then he got, over time, it took him a long time. He started to get better to where, like, hey, we start liking him in things. Mm-hmm. He's really fucking terrible in this. Like, outside of just like, hey, everybody be
really?
stiff.
You thought he was bad?
I thought he was really fucking awful.
They want to keep this as a cameo or like a surprise for the viewers who go. And it's like, you know what?
It was old.
So I don't even have any clips. They want to keep this under wraps so much. But, yeah, I didn't mind him because at least he's one of the people that brought some life to this movie. But the movie, Martin is right. It's not saying anything that we hadn't heard before. It's not saying anything playing anything we hadn't seen before. One of the biggest strengths of this movie, which is a weakness for everybody else, is that the movie is just like its subject matter. It's dumb models.
It's shallow.
The movie's like a dumb model. Ain't got shit to say, and then spends half its time admiring itself. It's like talking to a person who sits up there just every 2 seconds looking in a mirror.
Yeah, at times, it looks good, and I did like the music, the score. It was blaring and off-putting, but it kind of worked for it for a while. But it just comes that point where even if it's a hot girl who acts crazy and she doesn't really have anything to say, after a while, you kind of get over the fact that she's hot. You're just like, damn, this bitch is annoying.
Yeah, it just kind of seems like it'd be one of those movies that you go over to somebody's house party and it's just playing in the background because it's beautiful, but it's really like nothing you really pay attention to.
And it ain't that beautiful.
Wow, really?
No, actually, I would disagree on that. Here's the thing: the movie is taking so many pauses and taking so much time because it's stopping. It wants to stop for you to look at how gorgeous this film is. Mm-hmm. People are just talking to you and they just stop to see where was I? You know, I mean, it's really it's a great looking film if you ask me. I love
At times, and most of the time it is.
But you know, I love movies like this that look like this. I love movies that actually use color. They use a lot of color to set up a world, to show that world is a cinematic world. It's not of this world. To set up emotion, to set up tone for certain things, and then the cinematographer here is the star of this movie, Natasha Breyer. She's the fucking star of this film because I love everything that's going on here, and I would actually go ahead and give Nicholas Winding Refn. I'll give him credit for being able to take his biggest influence, which is the 80s. The 80s, I mean, that's why the movie's called Neon Demon, because it's taking the colors and neon colors from the most exaggerated part of the 80s. But the cool thing about him doing that is that where other people would take influence like the 80s and they would do things like pay homage by doing these gimmicks.
Pastels.
They would mimic. They would like do a mention. Hey, remember this from the 80s? No, he's able to take those colors, that style, that music, and make it his own thing. And I truly respect him for that. I think that is a talent for him. Now, if he could just speed his fucking movie up, then that would be great. But the music in the movie, he's taking who was the guy that did that? It was Cliff Martinez who did the score for Drive. He's back here, and since this is kind of supposed to be kind of a horror movie, he's doing like this synth type thing, and that's cool. It actually fits like a John Carpenter kind of feel to the movie, but it gets so weird sometimes that they're just making noises. There were so many times that I thought a cell phone was going off in the theater.
Now, look at Jesse. Nothing fake, nothing false. A diamond in a sea of glass. True beauty.
I was like, will you cut your cell phone off?
Yeah, I was looking around to see whose phone that was.
Yeah.
Several times in the movie.
Cut that shit off, man.
What? It wasn't me.
Yeah. Movie was it was at times so weird that it was like playing tricks in my head. And I tell you, look, like I said, it's a movie that I admire. It's a movie that, and I don't care what the director said. Again, the director sitting up here talking about it's my version of a horror film, and some of these people are buying that shit. Sitting up here talking about, horror films will never be the same. Well, hopefully they won't be like this shit because it's not a horror movie. It's an art house film with like a bloody ending.
Yeah, wow, you said it perfectly. And yeah, if it's a parody by somebody who doesn't know how to tell a joke.
Yeah, it's and that's the thing about it. Yeah, he's the only one. You know, it's like somebody sitting up there who's like thinking that their dry humor is so funny. They're laughing at themselves. And you're like, man, just you hear this shit up. You know, shut the fuck up. Yeah, shut the fuck up. Yeah, that's what I kept saying in this movie. Shut the fuck up, man.
Although he did bring back something I haven't seen in a film in a long time.
What's that?
Necrophilia.
Oh, yeah. No, and even that's boring.
I love it. It's like, okay, between long pause of nothing, there's necrophilia just so somebody who wants to commit pedophilia.
Yeah, and that's another thing about the movie too. I mean, it's funny how about you get so bored and you're so ready to go that when somebody's fucking a dead body, like, yeah, get your nut on, let's go.
Yeah, right. Yeah, just hurry it up. Just do what you got to do. I'm gonna turn my back. Just make it quick.
Yeah, finish and let's get the fuck on out of here. But also the movie's in his statement is kind of weird. I don't care what people say. It's doing this thing where Elle Fanning's supposed to be 16 in the movie.
15.
No, 16. No, she's 16.
Oh, that's right. She had just turned 16.
And the thing that they do in the movie is that Nicholas Winding Refn, like I said, he's a very masculine director. He likes to go in and add these very masculine messages to his film. Drive was all about almost overcompensating for masculinity, the quiet, tough guy type. And with this one, he's kind of applying that masculinity with his vision of women. You know, this is his world where it's a man's vision of a perfect world with all these women who are models. Not only they're models, but there's something sexy about how crazy they are too. And that's it's interesting, but it gets kind of creepy when everybody starts to objectify her. And I don't know what the message is supposed to be, but it's still this whole thing where people are kind of looking at her as a sex object, and I felt kind of weird about that. So, you know, I mean, I'm not saying it's hurting the movie. I'm not sitting up here saying that the guy's a pedophile. I'm not saying that at all. It's just, I don't know what the fuck you were trying to say with that.
I wouldn't say he's a pedophile, and I wouldn't even necessarily say he's a misogynist, but I would say he doesn't know what women sound like. Like he just hasn't hung. He's so macho. He has no idea what a woman is.
Well, he don't know what people sound like.
Yeah, that's true.
If we were living in his world, we never get a review. Finished.
She'll be like 6 hours long.
Sitting up here like this chick trying to talk. Let her do a review one day.
Oh, God.
No, it's people. I love this movie for the way it looked, but I can play this at home in the background, or just stop and look at it like an aquarium full of fish. You know, I give it a rental.
Yeah. Well, okay. That's cool. I give it some old bullshit. It really had a chance to do something and didn't. And there's just so many crazy missteps in this. I can't even think of one person I could recommend it to.
Yeah, you do. Me.
You gave it a rental.
But I liked it. Hey, I might go out and rent it.
So if I recommend a movie to you and it's only a rental, you're not going to be mad at me?
Well, I can go rent it. Yeah. No, I wouldn't be mad at you.
Yeah, you would. I'd be getting, man, my phone would blow up. But you're going like, why you tell me to rent that
Son
bullshit?
of a bitch. You told me to rent this shit.
I call you and tell you, Martin, that was awesome.
As pretty as it is, it's a waste of time.
Oh, no, it's not. There's some people out there. They're not in here, but there's some people out there.
I can't wait to see all the people's reactions. They're like, man, I love Drive. I can't wait to go see this.
I know.
All them dudes come out of the theater. What the fuck was that?
Well, they're going to learn. They came out of his other movie, Only God Forgives.
Oh, yeah.
And even then, they were like, what the fuck is this? Where's the dude with the cool jacket, around, doing cool shit, driving around beating up people? Yeah, man. A lot of people thought it was a sequel to Drive because, what's his name? Ryan Gosling was in it. So, yeah,
that's right.
Yeah, they had a rude awakening.
He didn't write Drive.
What's that?
He didn't write Drive.
He didn't?
No, but he wrote this.
Okay. Shit. He makes movies like people paint. He really does. He films this shit in chronological order, so even he loses what he's doing along the way.
Apparently so.
Yeah. And these people up there,
Script. Who needs a script?
yeah, shit. And these people taking their time acting like there's a gas leak in the room, like they're forgetting their lines. These chicks are so hungry they can't remember their lines, man. Where was I?
I see 20 or 30 girls come in here every day. From small towns with big dreams. Some girls crack under the pressure. You're going to be great.